Hello and welcome back to Ripple. It's been a little while, has it? Yeah, things have changed a little bit here. I've been busy and so have all the other players on the server. So let's take a little tour and see what's changed and just... Oh, that's not the face I expected to see. There it is, better like that. Yeah, I promise it's not gonna take 20 minutes this time. I truly promise that. No more than 5 minutes, I hope. So let's just put that back on. But yeah, things have changed a lot. The roads have been extended. I don't even remember if the roads were here, like that down here. But Jimbo built a super cool nightclub. We might visit it later today. He also built a parking lot down here, and I decided to connect this parking lot to a little thing that I wanted to build. I wanted to have a little, how you call that, like a boardwalk kind of thing, a walkway along the sea. So yeah, I built that with some little stalls here and there. They're not open yet, but I'm probably gonna just put villagers in here and find a way to keep them inside. And yeah, we're gonna have some very cool little stalls. So I got this wall all along the way. It can be replaced if someone wants to build a shop, like let's say here on this face here, something like that. People can just remove the walls and place shops if they want to. They are free to do that. It will just improve the place. But yeah, and the walkway here leads to this little path, again along the river, along the sea. Here we have this flat area where I'm gonna build a park, and it's gonna extend up here as well. So the walkway continues here, and it reaches this staircase that goes all the way up here. And by the way, that's not its final form. It's gonna be improved eventually, just not today. There's other stuff that I want to work on, and it connects with the road down here. And speaking of roads, I also took care of the more random themed area of the shopping district. So we have this section here. It's the classy and rich and a bit ostentatious section of the shopping district. But here we have the more randomized, because like a big toilet paper roll that wouldn't fit in here. Big rainbow sheep wouldn't really fit down there either. So we needed a section for those builds. And that section needed its path, so I decided to make something like that. I really just wanted something that would clash with the rest, just to show that, yeah, that's one section and that's another completely different section. That was the idea behind this theme. I don't think it's the prettiest road, but it really does the trick, and I don't hate it. See, you don't have, like, something that has to be absolutely pretty for you to like it. It's a very important life lesson. Well, Minecraft lesson and life lesson in general. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm very happy with that little path. But again, we're not gonna work on that in today's episode. We're gonna work over here in Llama Land on another mini game, and this one's gonna be kind of a bigger mini game, and it's gonna be called LLAMAMALL. Why is it gonna be called LLAMAMALL? Well, first of all, llama, because it's Llama Land. That's the theme park kind of area for the mini games. LLAMAMALL is a palindrome, meaning that it reads the same, like, one way or the other. And that's something that I think is funny. So, to justify the use of this palindrome, it's gonna be a big mall. So I'm gonna build it underground here. This thing here is gonna be, as I said, a big mall. More like an abandoned shopping mall. And it's gonna be a PvP arena that I'm gonna build down here. So I'm pretty happy with the idea that I've had for that. There's just a little problem. I don't know if you hear it. Well, you can definitely see it here. But yeah, I got this little area here where I put my villagers, and I also put like a few very simple farms down here. That's just kind of my starter stuff and my behind the scenes stuff. And it shouldn't be here. It makes no sense. Actually, no, let's head back outside to see it. But yeah, I'm gonna remove all those things that I got underneath the place here, just to clear everything, have no weird sounds that make no sense in the context, and no, yeah, just no farm and have a flat floor. So I'm just gonna move everything underneath the big llama package that we have here. So that's what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna start after that. I'm gonna start laying out the idea for the mall, how it's gonna be placed and everything. So the place has been cleared up, and I made all the markers that I needed. So basically, shops. That all the granite shows where the shops are gonna be. These are gonna be corridors. There's gonna be a big atrium here with balconies. They're indicated by the diorite. And we're gonna have 2 staircases here to go from the first floor to the second floor. And also above the atrium, we have some pretty skylights up there. So let's start filling the walls. And the walls have been built, and so was the atrium here. And I built 2 shops, or well, 2 restaurants down here. So if we head inside the first one, it's called Stressed Desserts, and someone kindly tore this little metal curtain off of its hinges to push it inside so that we can get inside the shop. We can find a barrel where the players are gonna find the loot that they need to fight each other and, well, kill each other. There are some more barrels inside this little fridge. Right now they're not accessible. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, that's the first restaurant, Stressed Dessert. There's a spot for another restaurant, although there will not be one. It's going to be decorated for as if there had been one here, but there's not going to be. You won't be able to come inside because there's redstone here. So yeah, can't really use that. So if we skip this one and we come here, we have our second restaurant called Taco Cat, with a taco on the wall and a cat on the other wall. And here we have another barrel and some more barrels behind the glass here. In this one, I set up the little system that will distribute the items. So if, as you see now, it was empty. I press on the button, which is not going to be there when the game is playable. I really want to make this clear. I'm going to remove this button, but just for the demonstration. So now there's an item, and if I keep pressing it, nothing else comes in. So basically it just detects if there's an item in the barrel. If there are no items, it will put one at the beginning of the game, and if there is an item, it's just going to ignore it. It's not going to put anything. So that's it for Taco Cat. Now for these little barrels here behind the glass, it will be a problem to access it without breaking it, which is one of the main attractions of this game. The players will start with a golden sword and a golden pickaxe. The sword has 6 points in durability left. All the swords are the same, all the pickaxes are the same as well. They have 3 points of durability. The sword is just to give the player a way to fight back in case they don't find a sword and they meet a foe. So yeah, at least they'll have a weapon, and the pickaxes will be renamed like you can only break glass with this, and they will be able to, as the name says, break glass with that pick, so they will be able to access these barrels here, or like same thing for the barrels in Stressed Dessert here. They're gonna be able to access them by breaking the glass. Same thing for these windows here. The players will be able to break the windows to get inside some shops, because some shops will not be accessible without breaking any windows, so they will gain that possibility. Also, as you can see, there's a window at the other side here, so if you break this window here, the other window at the other side here, it's gonna make a different little path, like a little shortcut through the shop. So there's a few places here and there that will allow that. So again, like it's something that's just gonna change over time as players play the game. The arena is gonna evolve, and I'm not gonna come back to patch things up just to like block things off. It's gonna stay like that. So the more games are played, the more the arena is gonna evolve. So yeah, that's I think that's a very fun part of that game. Also, they're gonna have some blocks, so they might find some blocks in some chests or in some barrels that they can use, for example, to well, that they're gonna be able to place. I'm using oak planks right now, but it's probably gonna be like a different type of glass or something like that. But yeah, they could use them, they could place them to patch a hole in a wall, or to like block a like protect themselves, for example. Like you place it here and people can't shoot you or have a harder time shooting you or something like that. I'm not too sure. Or you could like place it here and you can parkour your way up to get access to something like hidden up there. I'm not sure exactly of like everything that's gonna be available with that, but it's also a little mechanic that I think is very interesting for this game. So yeah, all I have to do now is build all of the shops and the restaurants and all of that. Only problem is I'm not super inspired or super motivated to do all of that at the moment, so it's something that I'm just gonna do over time. I'm not gonna finish this during this episode. It's gonna just be done afterwards, and I'm also probably gonna contact some of my fellow Riplets to ask them if they have any ideas or if they want to build more little shops down here. And yeah, I think it's gonna be a fun collaborative project. But it's not because I'm done with this part of the project that I'm done with the entire project itself. There's still one thing that I really want to do. I want to add a soundtrack to the game, and I'm gonna bring you along for the process of making that song. So first, I set this up because I want to work on the rhythm part of the song. So I put 8 note blocks with 1 tick delay between each, just to have an idea of how fast we can make it. Yep, that is perfect. I want the song to go fast because it's an action-packed game, or it should be an action-packed game. So it needs to go, it needs to be a quick song and lots of adrenaline-inducing song, I guess, is what I should be saying. So since this is the rhythm part, we have 3 instruments that will work for that. This first one is the clicks, this is the bass drum, and this is the snare. So if we're gonna have like one sound that repeats, I think it should be the clicks. It's supposed to represent the hi-hat, and I think that's kind of the role of the hi-hat, is to kind of be repeated over and over and over. I think it's what I understand from my very limited knowledge of music, so let's listen to that. Yep, that works. Perfect, and I'm gonna add some bass drum and some snare here and there just to add a bit more flavor to that part. So I made a few attempts and I think I finally landed on something that I like, so let's listen to it. Doesn't it make you want to like fight and just punch people? It really does it for me. It really works. So now we can work on the melody part of the soundtrack, and for that I got something special in mind. I want it to be randomized. I don't want just to have the same thing playing over and over again in the same sequence. I want it to be a bit more elaborate than that, and yeah, randomized basically. So I'm gonna work on the randomizer first, which is gonna start with a 2-bit randomizer that we have here. So well, first of all, I had to twist or to curve the drum track around just to make it easier to connect. But yeah, when this note block here gets powered, it's gonna power this dropper, which is gonna spit either the wooden sword or the stone brick. Can be any non-stackable and any stackable items. It wouldn't change anything, but it's gonna spit these items inside this hopper, and depending on which item gets picked, they're going to be picked randomly, but depending on which one gets picked, it's going to either send a signal that way or that way. So it's basically, it lets us choose between A or B. Now, if the choice A gets picked, what we're going to have is another kind of 2-bit randomizer, similar to this one, but with one major difference. So there's not gonna be the filter around it with the comparators and the repeaters and stuff like that. There's not gonna be any of that. It's just gonna have this length of redstone that's gonna let us choose. So basically, we're gonna have wooden swords and stone bricks. If the stone bricks gets spat out into the hopper, nothing is gonna go through. And if it's one of the swords, the signal is gonna go through. So it's just like a chance to not play anything and a chance to play something. So with the amounts that we put here, we have 2/3 chance that it's gonna go, the signal's gonna go through and it's gonna play that part of the melody, and 1/3 chance that it's not gonna play anything. I want to have the option that it doesn't play anything, just to have that as another option, having just the drum track once in a while. If instead of choice A, that goes that way, we have choice B here, if we have that one instead, it's gonna be pretty similar with one major difference. Nope, not like that. We're gonna have 2 of those randomizers instead. So what it's gonna do, it's gonna power both of these randomizers, which are gonna have also 2 swords and I can't reach 2 swords and a stone brick. So it will either, like, this one will either play or not play. This one will either play or not play. So the choices that we have is, like, there's a very low chance that nothing plays. This one could play alone, this one could play alone, or they could both play together at the same time. Which means that me, Aubni, with my very limited knowledge about music writing, music composition, I'm gonna have to write some short melodies that work well by themselves and that can also work well together. Yeah, I really like giving myself stupid challenges. And I did it, my masterpiece is complete. It uses 3 instruments, so we have the guitar, we have the bass, and we have the didgeridoo. That's not what a didgeridoo actually sounds like, right? It's just a spooky sound. Anyway, it fits in very well with the song, I think. So let's listen to all those little riffs that I've made. So the first one here, it's only guitar, and yeah, let's listen to it again. Let's listen to it if I'm not talking over it. There we go. This second one here, it uses bass and spooky sounds. And I managed to make these 2 riffs work pretty well together. I think they work well together. I like how they sound. I'm gonna be a bit more unsure of everything I do. So yeah, these 2 are the ones that could be combined or could be played individually, and I think it worked. I'm pretty happy with that. And this one will play on its own, so let's listen to it. So again, yeah, it works well, and I think it sounds right, like with the other one over there. So yeah, super happy with that. I know I've said it 17 times at least already, but like, I'm way out of my comfort zone, and I did something that I like, so let's listen to it a bit more. I don't know if it's too loud or if I could talk over it, but yeah, I think it works well with the game that we have here. I think it works as a good soundtrack. So yeah, we're gonna keep working on that game, but not today, because we have one last little project, and it's not gonna be happening here. It's gonna be happening at the base of our friend Sir MicKy, which Not entirely sure where it is. I know I'm in the right area, but oh, that might be it. Anyway, yeah, so Sir MicKy has built a big base. It looks great, it looks wonderful, and he has asked, oh, that's where we are, we're at the right place, and he has asked everyone to come and build some custom trees in his village. So I think it's time that I build one, but before I build a tree, I really need to take a look at the entire thing. So the entire base is Star Wars themed, which means I can't really say much because I know nothing about Star Wars, but I think that's the bad guy's base, I'm gonna assume, because it's all black and red and evil looking with pointy things, while this other one here is probably the good guy's base because white and yellow and bright colors. That would make sense. I assume. Again, I know nothing about Star Wars, but I know that there are some spaceships like that. I'm gonna land on the spaceship. Whee! Can I? Oh, can get inside. That's cool. Look at me. I'm a space pirate. Maybe. I'm not sure. Anyway, enough commenting about the fact that I know nothing about Star Wars. Let's start building a tree. And I don't usually do many custom trees. It's not something that I'm very good at, but recently I made a video, or I made some build suggestions using the 119 blocks, and on the server, I'm not sure exactly why, but we really updated late, and I think that like mangrove wood and things like that are pretty rare right now, so I'm gonna make a tree using those, and I'm gonna use the design that I use in the video that I'm talking about. So I'm gonna make a baobab tree using mangrove wood as the trunk, using mangrove roots as kind of little branches on top, and birch leaves on top as well, the leaves of course, and that gives us a pretty tree that I think fits in very well with the rest of the area. And as I mentioned, I don't think, or I'm gonna assume that MicKy doesn't have any propagules yet, so I'm gonna give him some, just to get him started on getting that mangrove wood. But sadly, on that note, that's gonna be it for the episode today. I hope you enjoyed. What am I trying to do? That's what I'm trying to do. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic day. Whee!